Ryan says, which starting position concerns you the most going into the season besides quarterback?
It's I guess the corner depth actually like it was a concern, but like now starting position, it seems like one of the safety spots. I think the safety
Strong safety.
yeah, it's the safety spot. I mean,
Strong
I
safety.
don't
Yeah.
yeah.
Like their starter right now is Tavon Wilson, who's not a starter in the NFL. He's a journeyman backup special teams guy. They just signed Clinton Dix, who they probably should have signed when Tavarius Moore went down. I mean, what do you think of Clinton Dix, other than his great name?
He was. I mean, can you really put your stock in a guy that was? I mean, he was cut from the Cowboys. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't think and then he didn't play the rest of last year. If he was so awesome, somebody would have picked him up after he was cut from the Cowboys. Like, oh, we got to get Clinton Dix, and even then, remember he was jettisoned from the Cowboys because they were having issues with Mike Nolan and was one of the guys that was. I think he was very verbal about Mike Nolan, and so they're just like, yeah, see ya, and he didn't get signed. Like it wasn't so. There was definitely a perception around the league that Mike Nolan wasn't doing a good job, but even that being said, Clinton Dix wasn't picked up. People were like, "Oh yeah, Mike Nolan's not using him correctly. Let me just scoop him up."
My prediction is that Talanoa Hufanga will start the most games at strong safety of anyone. I'm not sure that Jaquaski Tart will ever play again or this year. I don't think that Tavon Wilson is going to last long as a starter, and I think Hufanga, he has limitations in coverage that we've seen, but I think the way the Niners are going to use the strong safety is, split safety zone, single high on third down, never man to man. That's Jimmy Ward.
The guy, and I was going to bring this up. We were talking about the preseason that and I brought him up before is that I'm interested to see is Jared Maiden. I know, like I listen to your reports every day, and I don't see him. He's not in the good section a lot of time, but he's not in the bad. So
no,
and when you read off the catches, he's not showing up and like, oh yeah,
that's
like
true.
This guy got. And you know who does that sound a lot like?
Who? Ward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
He's not he doesn't pick balls off, but he doesn't give up the plays, right? So that'd be a guy tomorrow. I'm curious to see what he does.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm just gonna block a bunch of users real quick, just because. Hold on, let me get this guy. You got blocked.
Mangold, where you at, man? Like.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me block this guy. Sweet. That was fun. Okay. Yeah. Another one. Right guard.
Yeah. Whether Jimmy or Trey Lance is in there, I mean, you got to protect them, right? Like,
I mean, nothing against Daniel Brunskill, but he pretty much got worked in one-on-ones. The Niners have very good defensive tackles, so he's had success against Aaron Donald. Nothing to sneeze at, but they drafted Aaron Banks in round 2 because they wanted a new starter at right guard, and he's not stepping up, so that's a problem. It's not ideal. Yeah. Those are the two spots where they're basically starting guys who aren't starters. Strong safety and right guard. Other than there, the Niners have starting level players at every spot. Ever since Emmanuel Mosley got back from the COVID list, he looks terrific. I gotta say, he looks really good. He looks bigger. If he gets beat, it's not on a long play, and he breaks up passes intended for Ayuk Debo. Good player.
Yeah, and I mean, it seems like Ambry Thomas is trending up. So if Verrett and Mosley can hold down the fort at least until Ambry is ready, at some point to step in and spell them if need be through injury or other reasons, then they'll work out. More out of that. So if we move on to right tackle, it'll look a little better on the books.
No,
right?
It's because School went down. If School was here, the tackles would be him and Coleman and Moore. But when School went down, they had to get creative, and Compton stepped up. I respect it, Tom. The more you can do.
Like he's
like, look, I know I'm not going to make this team as a guard, so let me try as a tackle. They're like, all right, give it a shot.
Tom Compton is a millionaire.
And damn right.
He's getting paid.
Yeah, that's the thing. We make fun of Tom Compton. Like, the guy has made millions of dollars at his craft. I haven't done that yet. So hat tip to Tom Compton. Because it hit me the other day when I was looking at Robbie Gould's Over the Cap page. I was like, dude, this guy's going to bank $50 million in his life for kicking footballs. Like, what a G. What a freaking G. Like, that guy is the ultimate gangster. To be able to get $50 million just from kicking footballs good, like, How many people? 8 people can do that.
The thing about kickers is you can play for a long time. I think then Morton Anderson played till he was like 40 something.
Real quick, is he a Hall of Famer? Robbie Gould?
He might.
His accuracy percentage is up there. Let me see real quick. I'm just curious. Is Robbie Gould a Hall of Famer?
Who is the last kicker to go in? Was it
all-time kicker percentage? I don't think he's in yet. Is he still playing?
Oh yeah, I think
he's still playing. He's like 57 years old. Okay, Robbie Gould is 6th all time. Number 1 is Justin Tucker. Number 2 is Harrison Butker, who's only been kicking for 4 years. Number 3 is Josh Lambo, who's been kicking for 6. Number 4 is Chris Boswell, same. Number 5 is Will Lutz. And number 6 is Robbie Gould. So people who've had like real long careers, Robbie Gould, I mean, he has a higher percentage than Vinatieri, Mike Vanderjagt, like a lot of guys who were great.
Is Morton Anderson in the Hall of Fame? I don't remember.
I think he is. Anyway, we don't need to talk about Robbie Gould that much. Yeah. Think about it. All right, let's move on. Who do you think will stand out against the Chiefs other than, a quarterback?
I think offensively, I'm going to say McGlinchey. I don't think they're going to play him enough. I think Trent Sherfield, because I think they're going to play him. I think he's going to play him a lot, and I think it's from your reports, all his quarterbacks seem to find him in practice.
Yeah.
So I think he could have one of those games where like it's a 100-yarder in a preseason.
His skill set matches up with Lance very well because he runs routes on the outside, and Lance has this big, strong arm that can get it there, and he goes up and gets the ball and has good hands. So they're a good match. Jimmy can't get the ball to Sherfield. You don't even need him on the field. If Jimmy throws it to George Kittle, Ross Dwelly, and the running backs basically, and the wide receivers if they're right in front of his face.
Defensively, I'm going to say Arden Key because I think he's going to play a lot because they don't have a lot of defensive ends. So I think you're probably going to get like 2 to 3 quarters probably of Arden Key. So
I think say other guys too. Now that you say it, Maurice Hurst, Kentavious Street. Maurice Hurst is a good pass rusher. Kentavious Street is a good all-around defensive tackle. He's huge. He's explosive, and I think he's even better than DJ Jones. I think he could start it through technique for the Niners. And I think he maybe should, unless Javon Kinlaw shows something. Because Kinlaw is like here for a day, gone a day consistently. Kentavious Street was just out there whooping ass all training camp. Good for you, Kentavious.
Is he on a contract year?
Probably, yeah. Hold on, let me look that up real quick. He's playing like it. Over the cap. Yeah. Yeah, hell yeah, he is. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's in a contract year. So, yeah, he probably is going to have a good year. And maybe that could be like one of the things where they might want to play Kinlaw. Like, yeah, we don't want Kentavious to get too many sacks, like so we can just like get him on a cheap deal next year.
Yeah, game the system a little bit there. Yeah. Like I've always liked Kevin Givens, but and he may stand out too. But Kentavious Street was the MVP of that unit this offseason, and Maurice Hurst is very interesting too.
Kentavious Street was I don't think he made it. I can't remember if he made it to the combine, but he supposedly he has crazy numbers. Like I think he runs like a 4.7, and he squats 700 pounds. He's a workout beast, and it seems like he's putting it together and on the field too. So.
That's the thing. He's he can run sideline to sideline, but off the snap, he's very explosive and he's very big, keeps his pads low, and he's very violent. When I watched Javon Kinlaw, he didn't do those things. He would pop. He would be kind of upright. He would pop up, and it's like he was used to just overwhelming people without any type of technique, and he couldn't do that to Laken Tomlinson. Whereas Kentavious Street beat Laken Tomlinson quite a lot in one-on-ones this offseason, which I think is – if you can beat Laken Tomlinson one-on-one, that means you are a starting level defensive tackle in the NFL.
Yeah. Have they ever played Kentavious at defensive end?
Yeah. They not that much, but they gave him a couple of reps there in one-on-ones, and he beat. It wasn't McGlinchey, but it was whoever. It was probably Tom Compton.
my thought just there would be that he could possibly be a replacement for Eric Armstead
Yeah.
if Eric.
That's why I think they drafted him, because they weren't certain they were going to give Armstead the long extension. They picked up his 5th-year option, and that was controversial. I think there was a possibility that if Armstead didn't have that big year, they would have let him go, and that was the purpose for Street, because he was a D end in college.
Yep, he played opposite. What's his name?
Myles Garrett.
NC State.
NC State. Oh,
I'm trying to remember. Oh, the guy that got drafted in Denver. He went.
Chubb.
Chubb. Yeah. Played opposite Chubb.
All right. Okay. Anyone else? Trey Sermon could stand out. JaMychal Hasty. I think JaMychal Hasty will stand out. River Craycraft could stand out. I make fun of River Craycraft. I understand why Kyle kept him in Dante Pettis, because, I don't mean to take a shot at Dante Pettis, but I think it's fair to question Dante Pettis' work ethic. I think they felt like, hey, man, when you're not around here, what are you doing? Look at your body. Look at the results you're having. I feel like River Craycraft works his butt off, so I don't want to curse too much. And he had a really good camp, so he's not going to make the team, but he's one of these guys in his mid-20s who could hang around on the practice squad and get some reps, get some starts, or not starts, but playing time later in the year if people get hurt, like last year. So River Craycraft.
I think I mentioned him before. I think Jaron Maiden could have a very good game, but I think he won't show it. It won't show it to in the stats, or like to your. You're gonna have to go back on film, and be like, oh wow, like this guy didn't give up any catches and was on his man the whole game.
I also want to see Hufanga. I want to see. Yeah, he's gonna look better in a real game than in practice.
Probably so. I mean, and a guy like Sermon, like you said, he's a guy that could end up having a lot of yards. They'll probably use him a lot. JaMychal Hasty, like you said,
they could go dial it back on Sherman, because Sherman's part of their first team offense.
Okay,
it could be more Hasty, Gallman, Mitchell.
Yeah, I watched your roster prediction last night. You predicted that Hasty might be the last man out.
Yeah,
and
be careful though, because he looks terrific in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably go if he's looking terrific, and he looked good last year.
Yeah, I liked him.
I would probably go with him over Gallman. Cheaper, younger, faster,
better.
And you got a fumbling problem. You got a fumbling problem with Gallman, and your
is that right?
I
don't know anything about Gallman like that.
I thought the reports in practice that Trey Lance's read option fumbles seemed to be.
Oh, that is true.
Right.
Yep.
So
I like Hasty better. I think Hasty has some vicious jump cuts, and I think he looked like an undrafted free agent rookie last year. He just looked kind of small. His legs are huge now, and I'm curious. I'm eager for you guys to see what I think. He has a totally new body.
He's good in the pass game. Like so.
Yep. He's really good in the pass game. The two guys on the team, the three guys who are the best route runners on the team: Jeff Wilson Jr., Trey Sermon, JaMychal Hasty. Mostert's a good receiver too, but he's more with like speed. Like, he can beat you with a wheel route or like one cut, but these guys can kind of like cut outside of their frame and juke you like with crossovers. Jeff Wilson Jr. is great at that. Sermon and Hasty have that too. Yeah.
Yeah. The more backs that can receive the ball, the better. They give you that added element, because they seem to get these guys hurt. So
especially if Jimmy's the quarterback, because again, Jimmy really is living with the tight ends and the running backs, kind of like Alex Smith did it for a while in Kansas City. But it's a lot of Kittle and Mostert and Sermon. So yeah, those guys are important.